Welcome back to the Circle. You're listening to a special Wednesday episode of Stories by the Campfire. There's a unique kind of isolation that happens right in the dead middle of the week. The weekend crowds have all packed up, the park rangers are off duty, and the deep woods get incredibly quiet. It's the kind of quiet where you'd hear your own heartbeat, or the heartbeat of whatever is watching you from the canopy. Tonight, we're heading deep into the Oregon backcountry. We're tracking a story of three friends who thought they were just getting away for a quick midweek camping trip. They expected a roaring fire, a few beers, and some stargazing. What they got was a frequency that rumbled in their teeth, a fire that turned a sickening shade of neon green, and a visitor that didn't belong to this planet or this timeline.
There's a specific kind of quiet that only happens deep in the woods on Wednesday night. The weekend crowds are gone, the weekend rangers are off duty, and the forest belongs entirely to whatever lies out there in the dark. Three friends, Jake, Maya, and Sam, were sitting around a crackling fire in a remote clearing of the Oregon backcountry. The crackle of pine needles was the only sound until the crickets suddenly went dead silent. It didn't start with a roar or a rustle in the bushes. It started with a sound in their teeth. A low vibrating hum resonated through the clearing, the kind of frequency that makes your fillings ache. Jake dropped his roasting stick. Maya gripped her flashlight. "Do you guys hear that?" Sam whispered, his voice shaking. "It sounds like a radio tuning between stations." Then the fire did something impossible. The orange flames flickered, paled, and turned a sickly chemical neon green. The heat vanished instantly, replaced by a sudden localized plunge in temperature that turned their breath to vapor. Maya shone her flashlight up into the duckless firs. The beam cut through the dark, resting on a branch about 30 feet up. At first, it looked like a massive owl, but as the light locked onto it, the creature unfolded itself. It stood easily 7 feet tall, but its limbs were impossibly thin, like charred twigs. It didn't have fur or feathers. Its flesh looked like liquid graphite, oily, metallic, and shifting under the flashlight beam. It had no nose or mouth, just two massive, perfectly round, silver disc eyes that didn't reflect the light. They seemed to absorb it. It didn't drop from the tree. It glided down, landing on the forest floor without making a single sound. No snapped twigs, no displaced dirt. The three campers froze, paralyzed by a primal evolutionary terror. This wasn't a bear. This wasn't even a known cryptid like Bigfoot. This was something that didn't belong to Earth's biology. The creature tilted its head up at a sharp, unnatural 90-degree angle. Its silver eyes flared. Then it spoke. But it didn't use its own voice. From somewhere inside its metallic chest, it played back a sound. It was the exact audio of Jake laughing from 20 minutes earlier, looped on a terrifying glitching cycle. The audio dissolved into a burst of harsh radio static, followed by a voice that sounded like a synthesized composite of 1,000 human whispers. Sam was the first to break the paralysis. He grabbed Maya's arm, and they bolted towards the truck, Jake hot on their heels. Behind them, they didn't hear footsteps chasing them. They heard the sound of electronic distortion ripping through the trees, snapping like whips. Every time they glanced back, the green glow of their campfire was stretching upward into the sky, forming a perfectly straight beam of emerald light pointing directly into the clouds. They threw themselves into the cab of the truck. Sam slammed his hand on the ignition. The engine sputtered, the dashboard lights flickering in rhythm with that awful vibrating hum. The engine roared to life. Sam slammed the truck in reverse, tires spitting gravel as they tore down the dirt road. When they finally hit the state highway and saw the comforting, boring glow of a gas station, they finally stopped, breathing like hunted animals. They sat in silence, staring at the dashboard. Jake looked down at his phone to check the time. The screen was completely fried, the glass spider-webbed with cracks from the inside out. But before the display died completely, he noticed the date and the time widgets. It wasn't Wednesday anymore. According to the internal clock, they had been in those woods for 3 days, and on the back of each of their necks, just beneath the hairline, was a small, perfectly circular, silver welt that was freezing cold to the touch. "3 days? Gone? Lost to a gap in time they can't explain? Leaving behind nothing but fried electronics and a freezing cold silver welt on the back of their necks? The local authorities, of course, wrote it off. It's easier to tell people that 3 college kids just got lost in the woods than it is to admit that something came down from the stars and snatched them right out of their sleeping bags. But Jake, Mia, and Sam know what they saw. And they know whatever played their own laughter back to them is still out there, waiting for the next Wednesday night. Before you close out this episode and turn the lights back on, do me a favor. Take a look at your phone. Check the date. Are you absolutely sure that it's still Wednesday? And if the back of your neck starts feeling a little cold on the drive home tonight, whatever you do, don't look in the rearview mirror. Thanks for hanging out around the fire with me. If you loved tonight's story, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave us a review and share this show with someone who likes the dark as much as we do. Until next time, keep your eyes on the tree line and stay safe out there.